What up, what up, what up? Happy Monday. It's the recap lunch hour with me, Ryan McGuffey. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Cap's not even waiting.
We call it the Ryan McGuffey Show. Let's just be clear.
Well, the Ryan McGuffey Show is going to have a special guest in David Kaplan today because of what in the hell is going on with this team. This team right here. The Chicago Bears blown out in Arizona, 29-9, reiterating what everyone already knows. That was a catastrophic performance. It was unprepared. What did I tweeted something last night, Cap, and I really firmly believe this. Okay, I said last night, right at the end of the game, or maybe even in the final minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, it's something like overmatched, outcoached, outperformed,
out hustled, out tough.
Oh, here since the bye, outcoached, outperformed, outclassed, outworked.
Fair, all fair. We had Coach Eberflus on the Cap and J Hood Show on ESPN 1000 this morning, and we interviewed him as we do every week. And I asked him simply, Coach, you are a big culture guy. Do you think there was a hangover effect from last Sunday?
How the hell can there not be? What did he say?
No.
I know. It's embarrassing. And then I listened to his press conference after you guys did. I went back and listened to your interview this morning.
Did you hear when I asked him about crisis and he disagreed with me?
What is his definition of crisis?
I don't know. I said, Coach, I believe this is the biggest crisis you've faced in your 3 years here. In year one, you had no chance. 3-14, you had no talent. I don't hold you accountable there. No culpability. But with this team, I believe it's the biggest crisis you've faced. Agree or disagree? He said, I disagree.
I don't
know what crisis is then. What is crisis if that's not it?
Look at that line. Look at that line.
0-18 on the road on Sundays as a head coach.
And
he's only won 3 in 2.5 seasons. And you know who the 3 quarterbacks he beat are?
I do. We've heard
Bailey Zappi. I don't even know Bailey Zappi's.
Somebody did a better job. Somebody actually listed the quarterbacks he's beaten
overall.
And to me, it's just an extension of the guys you're going to talk about.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell, and Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, well, this team, let's see here. Dave, welcome, man. The Bears are 4-4, and you're acting like they're 1-7. Let me ask you a question, Dave. What do you got? Right now, their playoff chances are now in almost the single digits.
Yeah, 14%, 6th worst in the NFC.
This is if we're going to play the Matt Eberflus game and go, well, it's a week-to-week league. Okay, fine. It's a week-to-week league. In the last 2 weeks, you've been the laughingstock of it. The laughingstock of the entire league. Because of their performances. Look, the game was over at halftime because of how the half ended. You have a 4-play, 70-yard drive in 22 seconds.
Well, I thought the Adam Hogue tweet yesterday said it all. The last 2 halves of football prior to the second half, this was at halftime. The last half of the Commanders game, first half of the Cardinals game. The Bears gave their opponents the football 70 yards or more away from the end zone.
Yep.
With 26 seconds or less on the clock, and both drives ended in touchdowns.
All right, our dear friend Katie, who's cranking over there on the social team, she just says the next gen stats say the Bears now are at 9%, not 14% of making the playoffs.
Wow.
So it is single digits. Okay. Daryl, looks like the players have given up on Eberflus.
They're went to South Carolina, though. I don't know.
Big win. I think she's got it. Speaking of hangover effect, the South Carolina, the Gamecocks, big win.
Yeah, she's got a hangover effect.
Well, I don't know. Your voice sounds like it. The players give up on Eberflus. They're tired of it just like us. You know, there's some thought about that, Cap. Have the players quit on Eberflus? JC, Eberflus is so bad he's delusional. Look at all of this. Stanislaus, Eberflus has zero accountability for being such a bum. I mean, hype. I'm not hearing anyone call out polls. Bad O-line for 3 years and keeping Flus just because he changed his beard. That's just sad. It's not the reason he changed his beard. Let's talk about this, Ryan Poles, because he's done. There's a lot of good things he's obviously done.
No question.
Doing the complete turnover of the roster, bringing in the talent.
3 full years yet because he was hired mid-January of 2022.
The Carolina trade will go down as one of the catastrophic trades for one organization and a great for another. However, the blind spots of Ryan Poles are very, very prevalent.
Yeah,
The offensive line is,
no doubt.
There is, at some point, it doesn't even have to be addressed. I mean, they're getting guys that are turnstiles out there now. The depth of the O-line, your starters are in question, your depth is in question, and now the backup depth is in question.
Okay, I want to know if he truly wanted, again, I don't know the answer to this. Did he truly want to keep Matt Eberflus, or was he told he had to?
Well, then this goes back to like White Sox stuff. Is he doing the job with one arm tied behind his back? Because I never thought, I didn't like the idea of keeping Eberflus when you had the number one pick and you're going to go to a franchise quarterback. You should line that all up together.
That is correct.
It's why this team, it's one of the reasons this organization has failed to identify a quarterback for 100 years, because they never do things the way you're supposed to. And a lot of these guys fail, not because they're not talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the structure that they come in.
Mm-hmm.
And the structure fails them
Mm-hmm.
time and time and time again. And some of these guys are learning 2 to 3 systems before their rookie quarterback contract runs out, and they're a complete mental mess at that point.
Correct.
And if it can't happen to Caleb Williams.
Who, other than Lovey, who did the Bears hired as a head coach since Ditka? Wani got another job. I was going to say, who have they hired? In fact, since Papa Bear was the head coach, they replaced him with Abe Gibberin. I don't believe he ever became a head coach. Rest in peace.
Now you're going all the way back.
Jim Dooley. Jack Party did get the Redskins, then at the time, Redskins job.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong never got another job.
I don't care if guys get other jobs, though.
But what does it say to you of the guys you hire that don't become head coaches anywhere else?
Well, stop hiring the hotshot coordinator then, and actually hire a head coach. Right. Hire somebody else's head coach.
Okay, so let's assume.
But I don't think you need to do that either.
I went through the list today. I think there's going to be potentially 10 jobs open out of 32.
That's a lot of jobs.
That's a lot of jobs.
And the Bears will be arguably the most attractive job by far.
Well, I'm going to read you the
While you're digging that up, you find the teams. Darren, I want to address, why doesn't Caleb take the check down on first or second or third down when it's the only thing open? And how about scheming some shorter rub routes? Okay, there's 2 questions in there. The scheming, this one's frustrating because Caleb obviously sacked 6 times last night. The guy was running he probably ran 240 yards yesterday, east to west.
You realize that he was pressured 46% of his dropbacks.
So while the check down is there sometimes, you got to remember, if the check down's there and he's scrambling right or left just to stay alive, it's about seeing what's in front of you. The play is completely blown up at that point if you're dropping out of the pocket and being scrambled.
Okay. So the Jets is already open.
Yep.
That is not more attractive than this job with a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. No chance. Sounds like New England might open, that they're really down on Gerard Mayo.
Wow.
That job is fairly attractive because they're going to be very patient with the next guy after they fire their handpicked choice. And you got Drake May, who looks like he's going to be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2. Cleveland might open at 2-7. That's 3.
That's a bad job.
Jacksonville's gonna open.
Yep.
That's 4.
Yep.
The Las Vegas Raiders will probably open. That's 5. You go to the NFC East, the Giants will probably open.
We'll see, man. My guy Joe Shane. I'm hoping he can survive this.
Okay,
but
that's 6. Dallas Cowboys.
What is? Some of these guys haven't done anything wrong. Like when you look at why am I blanking in Cleveland? I mean,
Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski's been a 2-time coach of the year. What's going on? If he gets fired, he probably will
have a job in 2 seconds.
And
the Bears should talk to him.
Thankfully. Yeah.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys would be
definitely
7.
open.
Bears
division, open.
Bears 8. New Orleans is already open. They fired Dennis Allen today. 9. And then in the NFC West,
probably everybody stays.
Okay, so that's 9 jobs potentially that could be.
So let's say 7. Let's say 7 for sure. Okay, the Bears are going to be at or near the top of most attractive, but you can't keep messing this thing up. I like Higgs calling out Dave S. You're right. I mean, the Bears do have the toughest schedule remaining in the NFL. They play the entire North. We know that they're all playoff teams. Then they get the Seahawks.
I want you to listen to the coaches they have to go up against.
Sure.
Matt LaFleur twice, Kevin O'Connell twice, Dan Campbell twice, Kyle Shanahan That's 7. You get Gerard Mayo and Mike McDonald in Seattle. That's your 9 games left. But the 7
So
coaches,
where are you better? Where are you better coaching than any of those teams? You're not.
You're
the Shane Waldron. You don't like the Shane Waldron revenge game?
No. You're equal to Gerard Mayo.
Yeah. The Bears are 6.5 point favorites, by the way. I might
7.
I might jump on the Pats.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow? The Bears should not be laying 7 points.
I've got to do some homework with you later.
Yeah, me too. Right now, you're the guy who was all over the Bears yesterday.
So were you.
No. We were on the Bears.
Yes.
But I gave you my 2 plays. We built a parlay.
Yeah.
We got it to the afternoon.
One of the plays in the morning was yours. One was mine.
Whoa. I gave you 2 plays. It was Bo Nix over passing yards and Malik Neighbors over receptions. So
right. And when he picked Bo Nix, I said, let's do the Neighbors play. And he's like, I loved Bo Nix. Neighbors hasn't caught any passes. He ended up with 9. The over was 6.5.
Yeah, I was sweating at halftime is what I was telling you.
I wasn't. I was
relaxed. Well, we ended up it didn't even matter because the Bears. Chris, 11 wins, preseason hopes. Well, there's think about it, to get to 11 wins now. I mean, obviously that would be
to go 7-2 the rest of the way. That ain't happening.
The improbable. So, is this team capable, Cap, of banding together and shocking the world?
No.
Why?
Their offensive line's not good enough, and it's banged up. Now we're hearing Darnell Wright might have an MCL injury. You got Braxton Jones didn't even play yesterday. It's not good enough. It just is not good enough.
What I saw yesterday was maybe not a team that has quit on each other, but they sure as hell from the opening snap didn't look like they were playing all that inspiring football to me. And after what happened in Washington, you would think that that's how they would route. They have the structure. They have the infrastructure on the 53-man with their leadership team. We have 2 of those guys on our channel with Kevin Byard and Mercedes Lewis to withstand that. But I just don't think at some point it can't just come from the 53-man room, especially when the offensive line, the defensive line.
That is correct.
The back 4 are as banged up as they are.
That is correct.
And then you have a guy like Tyreek Stevenson, who's, that whole situation is something else too. It feels like the bye week ended this entire season.
Yeah, they came back from the bye week and they've not looked like the same group. But I just thought yesterday they took the field flat.
Yeah.
Not responsive at all. And then got trucked in the run game.
And that's the thing. Defensively, they weren't responsive. That was the wake-up call.
Correct.
I mean, at some point, the defense is allowed to have a bad game.
That is correct.
Because they've carried this team all season long. They've won football game, and they won the Titans game by themselves. They kept, in theory, they won the Washington game until the final 2 plays. But it's all about what the scoreboard says at the end. And what Eberflus is saying, today, week to week league, we got to have strong guys, belief in the room. High school teams don't want to hear that after the last 2 weeks.
I got another question for you. Did Cole Kmet not make the trip to Arizona?
Well, we were talking about this.
Targeted, not catches. Targeted 1 time in 2 weeks.
That's insane. It's literally fireball. And to Siraj's point here, is there anyone else on staff who's called plays before to replace Waldron? I can tell you one thing. There's people on staff who understand flipping talent. You just signed the guy for $14 million a year. You got him right there. And you're calling plays for your goddamn fullback and trying to get too cute.
It's insane. It is literally insane what we watched and what we've been watching.
I mean, if I'm mad, think about how Cole Kmet feels.
Oh, my God. Comes home, tells his fiance yesterday, I'm sure. Hun, what do you want to go do? I feel good. I didn't even have to shower after the game.
I'm also like this stuff and DJ and Caleb. I saw somebody tweet yesterday too, when Caleb's limping off the field, that DJ kind of gave him a shoulder and that there's a rift between. Can we stop, please? Can we just let DJ Moore be upset and pissed off because he's a really good receiver who it's not working? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with guys visibly being frustrated. DJ Moore's not frustrated with Caleb Williams.
That's correct.
I mean, he's just not frustrated with Caleb Williams. Okay. That's more probably on the coaches than anything else. Back to this point real quick, Cap. Like, and this to me goes with some of the stuff when you do crossover sports like the White Sox. I always wanted to see at some point desperation from like Pedro Grifol.
That is correct.
If I knew that my seat when I sat on it was almost boiling, I would give everything I can to make sure I stay in it. And I would say, you know what, Shane or whoever, this ain't working. The New Orleans Saints had no problem firing their head coach yesterday. The Las Vegas Raiders, ironically, fired Luke Getsy. When it's not working, show some kind of pulse. Show that you give a damn about keeping your job and protecting the talent in the room. All you got to do is get in. We know that.
Brother, preach.
All you got to you're not going to be the 1 seed. We know. The Detroit Lions are running away with it. Get to the 7 spot. Change the game because all you got to do is get in. Be the wild card team. Be the wild card team in Major League Baseball and get in the playoffs. Be desperate. Do something to mix it up. Flip a table over. Stop saying, we just got to band together, right? No. You got to get some flipping life in the head coach's seat, and you have none. And it's embarrassing that the Chicago Bears have this team with that talent, and that's the guy that represents them. It just sucks. It just sucks that this city has to go through this time and time and time and time again. Whether it's spring, summer, winter, fall, we got the same shit, and it always resonates. And we're sitting here talking about it, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, it doesn't matter. Change the name, the record stays the same. Insert name here, regardless of sport. The city has it so wrong. It sucks.
Because the Bears apparently have a culture of a loser's mentality. That's just a fact. Otherwise, you wouldn't tolerate what you get year after year after year after year. And you can come on here and go 4-4. But guess what? 2 Packers, 2 Lions, 2 Vikings, San Francisco Giants, Seattle Seahawks after next week's game against the New England Patriots, who, by the way, did win a game this year, opening week in Cincinnati. So the way that our team looks,
that's what I'm saying.
There are no layups.
And that's what I'm saying. Are the Bears good enough right now to lay 7? Now, they've been really good at home. They have won, 8 in a row? Do you count, in theory, do you count the London game as a home game because they were the home team? I think you do, technically, by NFL standards. But, they might have the longest winning streak at home.
They do.
Yeah, so.
But they also had the longest streak of holding opponents to 21 points or less.
But that but listen.
Guess what? That's gone.
Yeah, but that's what I think the defense is allowed to have a hiccup. You can't
be perfect.
You can't.
All the time.
You don't. 3 field goals. Yeah, I know Caleb has not looked great the last 2 games when he's running for his life, but he also hasn't turned the football over. That's the one thing that I like. When was the last time the Bears had an NFL caliber coach that would call plays? Well, Matt Nagy was definitely going to be the flip the script coach. That was. Yeah,
that didn't work.
It didn't work.
But guess what? When they hired him, people around the league went, that's a great hire. And he had one interview after another, and Ryan Pace was able to convince him to take this job. It didn't work. He goes right back to Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes is like, got my guy back. Now, look, he doesn't call plays there. Andy Reid does. But there has got to be somebody out there, whether it's Ben Johnson or someone else, that you go, that dude wants to work with Caleb, and that dude's a really good football coach and holds people accountable.
Yeah, it's like, just can we stop with this guy drives a Toyota Camry and the cute stories. Same
Agreed.
with the coaching staff. It's almost the same with that.
Agreed.
Just if a guy wins the room and says, man, I just want to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears and I want to start today and here's my plan and these are my guys, let him go.
And get out of his way. And if he's the biggest personality in the room, who cares?
Dan Campbell. That would have looked really good here. He would have fit in perfect in Chicago. Unfortunately, he's perfect for Detroit. I go back to who's the head coach in Tampa and Arizona? Bruce Arians. They had Bruce Arians. He wanted the job,
building.
But you had to keep Rod Marinelli as a defensive coordinator. That's just not how it works. It's just, Cap, if you brought me to the recap and said, hey man, love you, want you here, here's everything you want, except these are two people that you have to have on with you, but I'm giving you the keys to everything, but they have autonomy over you at certain times. I would tell you, I like everything you're saying except for those two things.
Right. Those aren't my people. I want to bring my own.
Yeah. And why should we be surprised that these guys leave, to go to other organizations and have success? This comment here about DJ Moore to me is kind of crazy. Good receiver, but he's not good enough to get separation from the defender, and his route running isn't great. DJ Moore was sixth in the NFL last year with 1,364 yards.
Yeah, that is prisoner of the moment.
Tyreek Hill, CD Lamb, Ron St. Brown, Puka Nacua, AJ Brown, DJ Moore.
Yeah, that is prisoner of the moment because the offense doesn't look good, and immediately it must be DJ's fault.
There's Mitch
I
Winkleman.
would tell you that it is a lot more on Shane Waldron.
I agree. Somebody here says the ownership.
1,000%.
That's Samson. We got David Kaplan, one of the Bears, going to fire the coaching staff. Big fan of your show. We've never seen the Bears fire a coach in season. Are they capable?
You know that I know Young right there?
Yeah.
He was a student of my ex-girlfriend. And I would
this sounds like this show just jumped the ship and we're about to go down a path.
I would literally visit my ex-girlfriend, whose dad, by the way, was the head basketball coach at the University of Kansas.
I might have heard about her.
Nancy. And I would go visit Nancy at the school, and Young was a student there. And then I ran into Young at an event I was doing, and he comes up, introduced him, like, whoa, Young, I knew you when you were like in the 8th grade. You are unbelievable. Super cool.
I'm a big fan of Nancy. I'm just going to throw that out there. Mike says, yeah, well, from what I've heard, Mike says we're screwed. Justin brings up who's the new coach next year. We saw the report a week ago about Ben Johnson having interest, but Ben Johnson is going to be the hottest name in coaching. Now, I will say this is a hotter job than it probably has ever been.
Correct. Because of Caleb and the weapons.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's baffling that 2 or 3 weeks ago we were not talking about this, even though the coaching was showing itself at times throughout the year.
That's correct.
But here we are. Time for fans to start using load management in their favor. We have stop attending games. I don't love that.
I would never tell people to not go to the games. Guess what? If you are entertained, you have a good time with your friends, go. Be vocal.
Yep.
Be vocal. Write emails to the Bears. Call in on our radio shows. Follow the YouTube and post comments because they read that stuff.
James says former Bear Darnell Mooney has 588 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns for the Falcons, more than any Bear. He was a forgotten Bear. He didn't perform here. Not necessarily all his fault, I don't think. Kirk Cousins, guys, at some point, if this guy gets some respect that he deserves, he's a damn good quarterback. He's elite, top 12 quarterback, no doubt, in my opinion.
In the NFL right now.
Yes.
100%.
I mean, that dude leads that team, sees the field, stays in the pocket. A lot of people, sharps, me included, thought the Cowboys getting 3.5 was a good spot for Dallas yesterday. Come on, who we kidding? We kidding? Broski, Bear, Ed Cap. Seems like Pace and Poles are the same person. Neither had the common sense or the fortitude to bring in a new coaching regime with a new rookie quarterback. Well, that would be on Poles. Oh, Pace and Poles, he's saying.
Yeah, because he's saying Pace didn't fire Nagy when they drafted Justin. Again, I don't know the answer to this. I'm trying to get some clarity, but was Pace told, no. Nagy took us to 12-4. We got years left on his deal. We're not buying him out. And was Poles told, hey, guess what? We are not going to buy out his contract. I don't know. He's still got another year left, folks. I'm getting messages from people here. Is it true that he doesn't have another, that he's done this year? No, he has one more year left at between $5 and $6 million.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. What they're being told they can and can't do. Clearly there's disdain for DJ Moore, Cap. I don't get it. Leonidas here. Trade DJ Moore for a first rounder while you still can. You're not going to be able to, but that's not how it works.
DJ Moore, you're not trading him.
Yeah, he's 27, not worth keeping. As you can see, he doesn't make a difference on the field.
Yeah, that's silly.
I just told you last year that the damn guy had 96 catches.
Yeah, that's just a silly comment. And plus, he just signed an extension. The dead cap hit makes it impossible. So it's not going to
You're not trading DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yes, you need O-linemen, but that's DJ Moore. That's a separate issue. First of all, DJ Moore's not an issue. Okay. I'd be more like it's the trade deadline, Cap. Trade Keenan Allen.
Mhm.
Seriously.
I have no problem with that.
Khalil Herbert. They've gotten offers for Khalil Herbert. Clearly, they don't like. I like Keenan Allen, but I give me Cole Kmet right now. I think Cole Kmet makes more of a difference right now than Keenan Allen. Thomas, if not Bill Belichick, then hire the actor who played him.
Wow.
That's the comment of the show. That show is some kind of funny. I don't know if you've watched any of that.
The Aaron Hernandez show?
Another reason.
But I will give you something to watch. The comeback on Netflix about the Red Sox 03. Watch it.
I have it flagged. Mickey Mouse would look good calling plays for Mahomes. Mahomes is an outlier. Missed an opportunity. This is the big one. I saw this on somebody last night. Jim Harbaugh, but there's so much ego in the room, both sides, Jim Harbaugh included.
Correct.
That it made too much sense.
I could tell you because I know this with 100% certainty. There was zero chance. He could have literally said, I'll coach your team for $1. They don't like him. They don't want him. He was never, ever going to be in play, even if they fired Eberflus. Leave it there.
You can leave it there all you want. They're 5-3 out west and they're trending up. Mooney and Monty started to flourish after they left the dumpster fire. Velus. Okay, next thing you know, Velus Jones is the star in Jacksonville. No, hire Nick Saban. Guys, he's 74 years old.
Yeah, he's not coming there. He was in a Halloween costume the other day on game day, which was awesome.
Why would he have left Alabama, take a year off to come coach the Chicago like that? He did the NFL thing. He's an all-time coach.
That's correct.
Cap, do you have any inside info on the Bears' new stadium?
I don't. They are struggling to get any traction with the state legislature. I still think Arlington Heights is in play.
Yeah, I do too.
I do.
You got this guy. This was my favorite one, Champy. I was going to look this up while we have him here as we finish out our show in the lunch hour. A lot to say. A lot of people here. A very active, spicy room. When the Bears lose, when the Bears lose, it's certainly not bad for business.
By the way, check out the recap of yesterday's game. It's approaching 40-some thousand views. Crazy
futures. So Champy says the Cards are the dark horse to come out of the NFC. Cap.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You don't like that?
No.
Champy, if you love that so much,
go bet it.
They are 25-1 to win the NFC right now.
Go get them,
and they're in first place. Young, biggest fan. Young comes back.
I think the Rams are the dark horse.
Lions and Cards, two best teams in the Okay, so Champy must be from Arizona. Okay. Kyler's the best quarterback. Champy's coming in hot. Best quarterback, Kyler.
Love you, Champy, but you're wrong.
A lot of comments. Trying to get to them all here. Ralph, we need a head coach that has some fire and knows what it means to be a Chicago Bear. Ron Rivera, question
mark.
No, thank
you. He's a friend of mine. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's. Yeah, I think he's. When do you think the Sox? Here we go. This is what I love, Cap. We're dialed in on the Bears. Max is like, dude, I want to know about the White Sox coaching staff. Big fan, Guff. Max, appreciate you. I did hear they're flirting with from our guy Josh Nelson at Sox Machine that they're talking to former Baltimore Orioles hitting coach about a possible position. They do have a press conference on Friday at the ballpark, so the GM meetings are this week. Hopefully by the end of the week we'll have some clarity on that. Ryan Pohl says has addressed the O-line. He hasn't filled it with game-changing talent.
Well, he spent the 10th pick in the first round on Darnell Wright. He spent $30 million. Now, albeit the top guards are making like 15, 16 a year. He spent 10, but he still did spend significant money on the offensive line. He just hasn't done a good enough job, and he would tell you that.
Yeah, I think Leonidas, again, I agree with you. That's what's been beautiful about how the Lions have built their team from the inside out.
3 first-round picks, Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, who is the best right tackle in football. Frank Ragnow is there. They're loaded up front. And when they had a high pick where they could have taken, I believe there was talk they were going to move up and get Jamar Chase. They went, no, we're good. We'll take Penei Sewell. That is how you win in the NFL, by building your freaking offensive line.
Yeah, I don't disagree with this comment here because Ben Johnson's going to have his pick of the litter. So he already knows the staff he wants to bring with him. So we'll see what happens there. Broski, unless the McCaskey sell the team, will anything really change? Will the offense actually modernize and join the 21st century? Will the overall culture improve? You're speaking what everyone's saying, man, and we all feel the same thing. Keenan Allen, total failure. Love the trade when they did it. It's not working. Obviously, he had the heel injury to start the season, but I'm looking at Can you get
I would
Keenan
trade him.
Allen
If I could get like
for like a
fourth
fifth
back,
round or
fifth
maybe
back,
a fifth back?
done.
I mean, this is about build. This is all about the line. Rome will be the number one. The guy is insane. DJ is great too. Yeah, that's what you know. That's why Keenan's expendable when you have DJ and Rome, and then you have Cole Kmet.
Agreed.
I mean, as long as the coaching staff realizes Cole Kmet's a Bear. The 4-9 became a Bears fan. I saw the Bears beat 90 interceptions by Donnell Wolford. Good times. I am tired. Yeah, I think we're all tired. Hopefully the Bears can just take care of the Packers this year. Singletary, come on, Tom. You know, I know that we all have 80
We're done with the 85 Bears.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let's please. Brian, if you could, this would be great. At the trade deadline, you trade your head coach. That would be awesome.
Bears have traded Matt Eberflus to the Japanese Baseball League for a power bat for the Cubs.
So many comments, so many views, live stuff. Look, guys, the frustration's there. I'm frustrated. Cap's frustrated. You're frustrated. Hopefully people up there are. Hopefully people up at Hallis Hall Cap are frustrated because that's what needs to happen. The players are frustrated. We know that.
Everybody is.
The players are frustrated, but we need some change. We need some accountability up there. We need some people saying enough's enough and stop saying it's a week-to-week league. We got to be 1-0 this week.
We got to execute.
We got to have the good guys in the room come together and band together when we have adversity. And if we do that, yeah, everything should be fine. On to New England.
The famous line of the coach of the Bucs. What did you think of your team's execution? I'm in favor of it. That's what he said. John McKay.
And we'll leave you on that.
Take
It's been the Recap Lunch Hour with me, Ryan McGuffey, and special guest, the man himself.
We call it the Ryan McGuffey Show.
David Kaplan. Cap, we got a lot going on today. We got the Recap Rush Hour. The Bulls play tonight. We'll have a recap that drops for that.
And check out the Bears recap that was just reposted again, I believe. Katie, who heads up social media stuff, she's already got it out there, and it's spicy.
Also, for those of you looking for the Bulls or Blackhawks, we will have Cap and I decided to do something, go off the reservation and do a video about installing an antenna, and we did it.
And it worked.
So we're going to drop a
6
video.
minutes.
We're going to drop a video here on the channel about how to install the antenna and get CHSN so you guys can watch the Bulls and
we did it in
Blackhawks.
6 minutes. You'll get it much quicker than that because Guff's an amazing editor, and you'll see it.
For David Kaplan, I'm Ryan McGuffey. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take that, Coach Eberflus.